interlocal agreement to see what kind of projects that the county can help with. So we're doing our part, it's just that we have not communicated that with the city. So as soon as, you have project lists, the county also has project lists, so as we're finishing up, we're trying to help the city, and I think that's why we were only able to knock out 2 projects. I think it expired in 2023. That was with the former engineer. But that's why there is, Mr. Leal, that's why there is, you think it's the high fee. We don't charge additional administration fees. We do it by the hour. The equipment was there, the employees were there. We provide a breakdown, to the city to show exactly what it costs for that specific project. So that way, we're kind of transparent to show you like, oh, this is gonna be too much for us to work with y'all, so we don't wanna do that project because it's costing too much. So it's, just working together, between y'all's projects and our projects. Again, we had one with the city of Sarasota, but it expired, so.
And council, with those interlocal agreements, we look at them and we see them and we either approve or reject those. So, the things, I've mentioned this before, but the things that the county does for us, we need them. We need them for the jail. We need them for dispatch. We need them for the EMS service that they provide, and the overall cost. We don't want that burden. So it's somewhere that, I know that they're working on some other avenues, have been talking about that, and I think that perhaps, it might require a vote by the citizens to do that, to raise that emergency district.
Can I just add one thing, just really quick, I just wanna add one thing, and it is just, as a consideration, and I appreciate you guys coming out here, to raise points, but as you see, we're trying to finance almost $12 million in that for utilities, just to do utility work, and we recognize that's our burden. We recognize that is, we as a city are supposed to provide that service. And so the question that becomes, and I don't wanna speak for all the council members, but the question that becomes, the service of EMS belongs to the county. Now,
Does not legally.
Let me-
There is no entity.
I get it, but what I'm saying is, let me just finish this. My point is this, is there's taxes that are generated, property taxes that are generated, that we can agree or disagree, pay for that service. We're saying the same thing. We're saying, we're not asking the council, we're not asking the county for $2 or $3 million to finance utility projects. We know that's our burden, we recognize that. We're just asking the same considerations as we're taking on debt and trying to improve the utility system and things that we know we're responsible for. That we're saying on that, and we recognize it's something that you're not responsible for, but truthfully, for years, EMS has been county responsibility. Now, we can agree to disagree, but that's been the history.
It's not a disagreement. There is no entity in the county, city, hospital district that is required under law to fund EMS services.
I guess my
So
question
to
is,
say
how
it's
long-
the county's responsibility,
No.
I think that's disingenuous.
How long have you guys been funding it or have that contract?
But there's nothing that says if we do it for 5 years, that it becomes our burden forever.
That's what I'm
So
asking, Joseph.
that dog doesn't hunt either.
What I'm saying is, but you're assessing taxes based on what you're gonna charge,
Okay.
right?
So,
Correct. Right.
question, Joseph, legally, can the county not provide EMS services to the city?
I will leave that to your legal counsel. I see Mr. Maldonado
I
is
know
on
his
the
answer.
line, and I'm sure he'll be very happy to answer that question for you.
Go ahead,
Bobby,
Bobby, you there? Bobby? Bobby, can you hear us?
he's on mute.
He's on mute.
He's not muted.
Is it mute?
No, that's Zedeco one one. Oh.
Bobby?
Bobby's walking around somewhere.
Bobby?
Yeah.
I don't know if he can.
Bobby, we can't hear you.
Bobby?
Yeah, it's connected to the TV.
Yeah, see that finger? Bobby?
Oh, yeah, he's glitching by.
You can't press the right finger.
Can you see us?
Press 1 for yes and 2 for no. How about that?
Blink like.
Let me get it from you. Bobby? Bobby?
He froze, he lost it.
Bobby?
Put your.
Call me. He's distracted.
Okay, Mayor, one thing I'm gonna just have to say, I'm not gonna be one that's gonna put a price on the safety of the citizens. I'm sorry, these agreements have been in place, and many of us, well, I can't say myself, but council members, and county members have been around to witnesses and payments, and I don't think any of these discussions have been brought up in the past. I'm just gonna say a fact that it's not a price that we should be even discussing for the safety of these citizens. We need the services, we need them in place. And that's just my thought. We cannot sit here as elected officials and per se put a price on the wellness and the health and the concerns and the safety of the citizens.
That's a great point.
We all serve the same, like Commissioner Martinez said, we all serve the same people. PISD has agreed to do their contribution. This agreement has been in place by the previous administration, at that point even more than they're actually asking now. So that's just my concern at this point, that, hey, this is a service that's needed. I'm sure the citizens will agree with this as well.
Well, thank you, council.
Question, right here.
Go ahead. Mayor Pro Tem.
Being an employee of the county, are you speaking for the city or for the county?
When I sit behind this bench, I represent the city.
Awesome. So that's a great point. Now, the ones that are putting in the price tag is the county. They're asking us for $25,000. Citizens of Pearsall pay county taxes. Those county taxes should go directly towards that payment that they're making to EMS. That's the way I feel, and I don't feel.
Councilman, yeah,
I'm
have-
talking,
Hold on a
I'm talking.
second. Allow him to finish, and then I'll let you retort. Go ahead. Mayor Pro Tem.
Citizens of Pearsall pay city taxes, county taxes, and they also pay school taxes. The schools paying 25. They want us to pay 25, and we pay county taxes. That's 3 times that our money's going towards those EMS services. People in the county, how many times do they pay?
So can we afford to pull away from this contract and we take over this EMS service for the city of Pearsall?
They can't deny it to us.
No. Can we afford, just like,
Can we afford?
just
No.
the case,
Mayor Pro Tem.
just like the case that we have in our hands with the sheriff's office and the arrest. Can we afford to actually step away there? Because I understand there was a meeting on that as well, okay? I'm just saying, Mr. Leal, Councilman, you have been here prior to these years, and you have witnessed these payments, and all of a sudden, now it's an issue to make these payments. That's my concern right there. I'm saying I will not sit in behind this bench and put a price tag on any of my citizens
Okay,
that are.
here's what we're gonna do. We've had y'all speak, Councilwoman Trevino, if you care to make a comment, let each of you guys make a comment, and then we'll go for a vote.
Hey, Bobby, I'm sorry, Bobby's on the call. Bob, can you hear us? Okay.
Yes.
This is a question that was posed. I'll let the mayor or some council member pose a question regarding.
Bobby, we've got, we're discussing the item on the EMS contract, and the question is the legality of the EMS, providing EMS service. Is that, city's responsibility, county's responsibility? What is the requirement?
That wasn't the question. That wasn't the question.
What's the
The
question?
question was,
Bear with me just a second, Bobby. What's the question?
can the county not serve
I'm
the
sorry.
citizens?
Hold on, Bobby.
Can the county refuse to serve EMS services to the city?
Question is, can the county refuse to provide EMS services for
If
the
we
city?
chose not to pay.
If we chose,
Chapter 774 of Health and Safety Code doesn't really leave for that possibility if the city is willing to enter into an agreement with the county. It doesn't even address monetary amounts. What would be the more interesting question is if the county is willing, if the county is taxing city residents and providing and denying the same services they provide to county residents. Joseph was correct. The county, no entity in the county has an obligation to provide
thank you for that input. All right.
Sure, but, it all goes back to, I appreciate what the county is doing in terms of working with the city, in terms, I've seen the amounts fluctuate. Joseph and I have seen, Dilly struggles, Pearsall struggles, the county struggles in terms of delivering ambulance services. So I've always really appreciated everybody working together, to try to figure out how much each entity can contribute towards the services. And I understand, I heard about interlocal agreement, county provides services to the city. It'd be nice if we always knew the value of those services, because the city gets services from the county and vice versa. So, as long as that money is coming back, the 25,000 is gonna come back through county assistance, then, we're still in the same boat. Give them 25,000, receive 25,000 in services from the county, and both residents are, county residents and city residents, also the county are all benefiting from it.
Okay. All right, Bobby, thank you so much.
Of course, Mayor.
Okay, Councilwoman Junior.
I mean, I just feel like we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I don't think anybody's questioning whether or not we want to put our citizens at risk, but at the same time, those citizens need to be aware that we feel like we are paying double. And of course, Pearsall is, or triple, Pearsall is gonna be have the most calls. I mean, we are the bigger city. We're, twice as big as Dilly, 5 times as big as Moore. I mean, so we're gonna have more calls. But, can we afford to pay the 25,000? Is it gonna,
It's not gonna break the bank.
we're all trying to save money here. We're trying to do the best that we can. Yeah, with what we have, so, I don't think anybody's trying to be spiteful or not help the county out. But, we're here to look out for the citizens of Pearsall as well, just like your job is to look out for the citizens of Frio County. But I mean, other than just saying, okay, if we can afford to do it, okay, but if we can't, then we have to look at a realistic number and then help them with that.
Okay, Councilwoman Trina, thank you very much, Councilwoman.
I'd like to hear from one of our citizens. I mean, Mr. Trevino's here, and I know he gives, great feedback, and I'd like to see what he thinks about this.
Commissioner Trevino, you've been requested by the council to make a statement. You have 3 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. You got 30 seconds. No, fire away.
So, it's a numbers game, right?
Yes.
I sent an email a long time ago to Joseph, and we were talking about equity across the county, right? Nobody told people to move to Moore. Nobody told people to go up the boonies in Frio County. So I'm kind of questioning the total cost amount, estimate, the 1 point, what'd you say, 1.8?
It's $880,000 right now.
Okay, $1 million next year, more or less, $1 million. If the majority of the people that get sick are in Pearsall, then maybe we should cut down services and just put them here in Pearsall. And I understand that Moore and Bigfoot and Dilly may not be happy about that. Well, they can pay for that as well if they want to, right? So all I'm saying is that I think I'm kind of questioning the number of the $1 million and on up and up and up and up, and trying to figure out how to do that. The judge did something similar to what you guys did, and said, yep, that's about $45,000. And I would kind of question that number, right? Like James, like you're saying, 25 there, and 25 there, and 25 there, and 25 there. Okay, I lost count. How many tax entities do we have? 6,
Yeah. Between just Pearsall?
Yeah. So the county's gonna get 25K from each entity, more or less. Muscle Manos to pay probably at least half of that bill, right?
Yeah.
But it's you could call the card and say, don't agree to it, and let's see what happens. And then you risk what Ramiro was saying, right? And how far do you want to go, right? How much of a hardball do you want to play? And that's why you're there, to make those decisions, right? And some are not easy, right? You could say, you know what, more than likely, the county will continue to support everybody, whether you pay or not. Right? But it doesn't do much for this word that the mayor likes to say like twice already. What's the key word? Solidarity,
Solidarity.
Solidarity, right? It's anti-solidarity. So you have to be careful, you don't wanna upset the county officials that much, but you could rile the feathers a little bit.
Thank you.
Councilwoman, thank you for your insight to get some citizen response. Now, your response, if you care to make one.
Oh, I agree with, Councilwoman Trevino. I'm not trying to be spiteful. I'm new to all of this because last time I was on council, it was whenever, it was like 75,000 and that's, we were like, okay, let's just pay it. Now, we're kind of questioning everything. I like it, but at the same time, it kind of makes us look, oh, well, it's a darn if you do, darn if you don't, okay? If we don't pay you guys, then people are like, oh, they don't want to pay for the EMS, and, but if we do, then I know what people, I'm coming from the perspective of the people, they're gonna be like, oh, we already pay county taxes for that, why are we having to pay city and school taxes for the same service? So it's like you said, rock and a hard place, so don't think that I don't wanna pay it, because that's not what it's about, it's just we have to, we're working with a much smaller budget than the county is. You guys have a bigger budget than we do, okay? Ours, we're coming out of, he's done a really good job. The city manager has done a fantastic job of pulling us out from where we were in the past, okay? So that's where I'm coming from. We're just barely getting to where we're our heads above water. So, yeah, that's.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Talamontes.
At the end of the day, ditto to everything everybody else said. It all makes sense. For years, people here in Pearsall have always paid school and county taxes, so that has never changed. What has changed is the amount. But at the end of the day, we can all say our citizens are at most important to us, and we all said that it's not about, oh, we don't care, well, we do, as Brenda mentioned it, Councilwoman Trevino. She nailed it. We have, I think, have bridged the gap between the county, school, and city. I've seen us come a long ways working together, and I think the only way we're gonna be prosperous, we do say where roots run deep, well, let's show it. I think we need to all work together, and I'd like Fred to go ahead and come up with an amount that is reasonable to meet what we can with EMS. As you mentioned earlier, Mayor, you wanted to let Fred negotiate, not
Okay.
from your pocket.
Yeah. All right, well, council, I'm gonna call for a vote here in just a second. Thank you guys very much. This is democracy, the way it's supposed to work, and how you guys vote is what we're gonna roll with, and I will certainly stand behind that. Just, for the record, you can pan in on me if you want to, but I am in support of supporting the county in this. I see a willingness to work together, and these things, if we don't get paid, I've been a bill collector a long time, I'll knock on the door, and I'm not worried about that. We can get that done, that'll happen. The other thing we didn't talk about is the TERS agreements, which is such good for economic benefit, and there's a partnership we work on. So with that, we've all made our comments, it is time now to vote. So I'm gonna call, we've got a motion and a second.
So what's the motion?
Can you repeat the
Okay,
motion?
let me reread it.